Uh, Hello guys, this is part 5 of my Pokemon Expert Emerald Craplocke. However, the problem is OBS fucked up totally and I have to post commentary this. So this is a preview of what happened last time, like the team or the new team members that I caught. It's B exclamation mark ch and bird ch. I didn't mention it. Anyway, you see who they are, and yeah. So again, OBS for some reason just didn't record my voice, but it did all the music and all that. So you know, all of my reactions are pretty much gone to shit. Oh, okay. So here I talk about the option of me switching from shift to set, because someone suggested that. But I think it would just make this game unwinnable, considering how tough the battle's gonna be. So if I am to do it, maybe we should raise the BST total, or BST, to like a 500, so I can get some stronger Pokemon to do it. But I think still it's just gonna make this game unwinnable, because shift allows you to switch Pokemon after you kill a Pokemon of a trainer, and set doesn't. So you know, probably it's gonna be super hard for me to win anything. Yes, but let me know what you think in the comments, and maybe we can do something about it. So this house, in my opinion, this house is useless because you know, it's open after a while, after you've done with your task, so you think, oh, there's gonna be some reward because this guy blocks it, the karate guy blocks it. But then no, not really. They just talk, and there's nothing to it. So, well, I don't really know what to talk about while we do this, because I don't remember what I said exactly. So I'm just gonna talk random stuff and also comment a bit. Like, for example, I thought I was running back to the Pokemon Center right now, when my amazing skills of being fast led me to this guy. And yeah, the problem is that I also saved over my save. So when this video ends at a specific point, that's where I saved. And if I were to get back to where I was to comment in real time, it probably wouldn't have played out the same. I think, yeah, I would have to battle Roxanne again, and that means I would have to lose, you know. Never mind. Well, this episode is not gonna be as exciting, I think. Anyway, here there's a thing that doesn't make any sense. This guy is like 20, 30. He looks, I don't know, he's a bunch of pixels, but I would assume if he works in Devon, he's about 20 or 30, and he failed to deliver some goods because of how big of a pussy he is. So he asks me, and I'm 7 or 10 or 11. I don't remember exactly, but I'm somewhere along those lines. And he asks me, and then the guy who's 60 or 70 asks me again to like do stuff for him, because a 20-year-old or 30-year-old couldn't. Like, what's the logic? Why? You know? Yeah, amazing person. Like, what are you basing it off? I just fought a dude with Pokemon. That's what we do in this world. And I was like, why didn't the guy have any Pokemon? He was just delivering goods. Oh my god, in a world like, the professor said it's dangerous to go into the grass alone without any Pokemon, right? So how the frick is this guy supposed to deliver anything anywhere if he doesn't have any Pokemon? Like, he walks into a grass and dies to a you know, Zigzagoon, obviously, because Zigzagoon is a killer. But at least the old guy gives me something, which is a Pokemon Navigator, and it's like a GPS, which will help us get around in town, or like the region. And there's criminals, magma. Okay, so let's talk about this. Now, Team Rocket, they were a organization of villains or like criminals led by Giovanni, and their plan was basically to be like like steal and sell Pokemon to be, you know, like a monopoly on Pokemon or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. And their big mission kind of was to create Mewtwo to be like the you know, the greatest trainers, to possess the most powerful Pokemon and like rule over others. But then Mewtwo escaped. If you saw the movie, then you know what happened. And if you didn't cry at the end, then you're heartless, you're soulless. Don't talk to me. Hello. Anyway, so you know that was a thing. And then in Gold and Silver, they were trying to resurrect Team Rocket, right? So Giovanni is hiding, so we will find him and we will make America great again. And basically, you know. Obviously, a 11-year-old stands in the way again with his Pokemon that he caught in the grass, and like what is that, right? What, like a guy, Giovanni, who's been training Pokemon all his life, he was a gym leader and he still is, and creates the strongest Pokemon thanks to like Dr. Fuji, I think Mr. Fuji, whatever, and he apparently just loses to a kid. His whole organization is infiltrated and beat by a child, alright? That makes no sense, but that doesn't matter as much as to, like, okay, so the idea was that they will just be the strongest trainers and rule over others, right? But then third generation comes around and Team Aqua and Team Magma's agendas are fucking bullshit. Like, legit. To this day, for me, Team Aqua and Magma make no sense whatsoever, and their idea to do anything as their, you know, big bad plan is just fucking crap. Like, think about it. We are a team of criminals who do bad stuff to enlarge continents. Or to enlarge an ocean area, whatever, ocean span. Like what? That's what Greenpeace tries to do sometimes, or like people who actually care. But criminals? What? So like, if their plan went, you know, according to plan or whatever, then they would basically just enlarge in continents and that's it. So no less water Pokemon can live, less sailing, less surfing. I mean, that wouldn't be bad, you know. I hate surfing. It's just annoying, you need to repel every time. Anyway, so less beaches, less, you know, whatever. And on the opposite side, more water, so less continents, more populated cities, and like people have to move to like, what's the idea? I still don't understand, like, what's the big master plan here? What are you gonna do, you know? Like, what the fuck? And then, thankfully, Emerald didn't introduce a new team, like, you know, Team Sky or Team Air, because that would have been the most bullshit thing ever. It would have been like, oh, we need to make air cleaner so Pokemon can breathe more healthy air. And Rayquaza is gonna help us make the you know, like, so much bullshit basically. And in the Delta episode in the remakes, I think like that's the closest we got to a Rayquaza small story, except the one that you call it to, like, say, no, don't be naughty boy, don't be naughty boys, to Groudon, Kyogre and Sootopolis. Oh, there's Magpie and Clefairy, by the way. Okay, anyway. But you know, it's still like, oh, there's a meteor, Deoxys comes. There's nothing about the teams. So, yeah, that was my little rant. And, well, continuing that subject, by the way, Generation 4 had Team Galactic, right? And that was like a big scale. Cyrus was the guy who wanted to, oh, I'm gonna create a new universe thanks to Palkia and Dialga. And that's at least some evil plan, you know. He wants to basically wipe out the universe so he can create a new one, he can just play God. And I hope that in the remakes they are gonna include Arceus instead of Giratina, or if they make remakes, because they've been doing shit recently. Because Giratina was like, yeah, you know, I'm not gonna let you do stuff to our world, but it wasn't like she was meant to do, or it was meant to do it, you know. It was just like a shadow distortion world Pokemon, so meh. But Cyrus wanted to play God, and Arceus, believe it or not, is a god which in my previous videos dies to a lot of different shitty Pokemon. By the way, please watch if you didn't. And that's another thing. How does a 7 or 11-year-old boy or girl catch God? Like, just think about it for a second, alright? You're a Pokemon god, like Pokemon pray to you or whatever, you just created it all. You like chill at your spear pillar, or whatever it was called. The extension to spear pillar anyway. Hall of Origin? No, something like that. And then an 11-year-old comes by and you're like, ha ha ha, mortal, don't you think that I am too strong for you? But he just comes by and throws a Master Ball and you're caught. Like, that's it. That's it for you. You're no longer Pokemon God, you're someone's pet. I'm gonna eat some chocolate now. Logic in this game is super stupid. That's not the only thing, by the way. There's also like these small ideas of type effectiveness that make no sense in this game. I don't know what I'm doing right now in the game. I'm going to go catch Cyndaquil. The chocolate is good. Okay. So let's talk about a little bit about the game now. Because this is Cyndaquil, which I'm allowed to catch, and Cyndaquil is, or Typhlosion, is one of my favorite Pokemon actually, because it's just you know, it's one of those, you played the game and it helped you and it saved you and it was just a nice Pokemon overall. I don't find his design like extremely great, nor do I find him, you know, extremely powerful. It's just like, he's a good friend. It's like a dog that you have, and maybe he's not the best dog ever, he's just a mongrel or something, but you're like, oh, I love my dog, he's the best, he's just the best. So Cyndaquil there gets to level, what? Gets to red health, and I try to catch it with a Pokeball, and suspense. One, two, three, and it's caught. Ball 1, because it loves me and I love it. So you know, thank you, Cyndaquil. So Fire Mouse, I don't know what it's called Fire Mouse, but, and I don't know what to call it, so I call it something funny as always, and I call it yeah. Oh, and it went to the RIP. It went to the box called RIP, even though it's not dead. So that's pretty funny, isn't it? He was born dead. Okay. Anyway, so type effectiveness makes no sense sometimes. For example, you know, water against fire. Okay, so there's a fire, you throw some water at it, and it dies out. Makes sense. Or ground. You throw some sand or a lot of sand at the fire, and it goes out. So that makes sense, all right? It just makes sense. However, what's the thing about, for example, flying and fighting? So you're a bird. Imagine it, you're a bird. Like, let's say you're Poop or Pidgey. You're Pidgey, and there's an MMA fighter walking down the street, And you go and attack him, you know, peck him or flap his wings at him, and he dies. Because it's super effective, so, like, he dies. Assuming that flying types equals birds, because most of them do. Or like... what do I want? Oh yeah, psychic type weaknesses are like meant to represent human fears. So I could understand that, alright? But... you know, bug, you're afraid of bugs, alright. Ghost, you're afraid of ghosts. Dark, you're afraid of dark, right? But why is psychic effective on poison? Can anyone explain? Can anyone explain this to me? Because you're like you're a, I don't know, some great thinker, because you're psychic type, or like you're magician, whatever. And you see cyanide and you're like, oh, I'm gonna think about it really hard. And you think about this piece of cyanide or vial of cyanide so hard it dies. Or like mug. You see mug and someone just uses psychic powers on it and it dies. Like what? Okay, there's a battle against May now, and she busts out a skitty, and I hope not to get infatuated by the double kick. And I don't. But she uses Tract. So Boobless is now gonna just kill it, because it doesn't give a frick about the skitty. And I was fearing a Grovile, but yeah, she just had a Trico. But at a pretty decent level, so this pursuit, this pursuit does a good amount of damage to my Pidgey. But Pidgey is stronger. Rest in peace, Trico and Mr. Goof and all that. We're gonna go and see Mr. Goof. Alright, so we know that, you know, psychic against poison debate, whatever. But ice is not effective on water. Like, think about it. Ice is not effective on water. Ice also should mean cold. Like, you know, you have icy wind. That's not exactly what the fuck is that called? Icicles. It's just like cold air, so you're freezing water. Nope, it's not very effective because snow, you know, or like there's poison on the ground and you throw some sand at it and it dies. Another amazing idea by Game Freak. I have no idea, like sometimes I know it's a game and it has to make sense gameplay wise, for example, or meta wise when you're playing a showdown, but why, you know? Alright, so there's Chikorita now, and I will try to catch the Chikorita. Sorry for my coughing, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm gonna try to catch a Chikorita with my newly acquired, you know, bro, whatever I call them, balls, you know? So does the Chikorita. Chikorita would have been an amazing addition to the team, right? Like grass. It's a nice thing to have. Okay, so tackle it. Yes, and it growls at me, so I think I speed it up. Yes, and it has Razor Leaf for some reason. And we smoke screen just for the loose, but they're low and healthy. So it has Razor Leaf, but I don't have Ember. I don't remember when Cyndaquil learns Ember actually. Whatever, one more smoke screen, and we proceed to tackle it to lower its health. Look how little damage we're doing, right? No! We fucking kill it! With no, like, did you see that? It had 40% and we were doing 10? So that crit did 4 times the damage, like, that was bullshit. So I don't have a Chikorita, and I don't have a grass type, and water types are a bit problematic. Maybe not too much, but you know. We have 2 water types. 2 flying types. Yeah, so no grass type, unfortunately. Alright, so I think we're gonna head to Dewford right now. We're gonna talk about some random shit. and we will cut this video because it's already pretty long. Just sail to Dewford and then, you know, continue from there. He's chasing his bird like a freak because he doesn't care what happens to him or the bird he's talking about his beak. Oh my god, you want to share with me? Yeah, so we were assigned 2 tasks actually by the dudes. First we save him twice, and then he says, here's a task for you, I'm not gonna pay you, but then fortunately enough the old guy pays us with a Pokénav, so that's nice. But you know, all of a sudden you're doing 2 tasks. Hey, I'm 11-year-old, give me an important task of delivering shit. Fuck you. Whatever. Dad calls us, and he's like, oh, Condom G, where are you now? Who cares where I am, dude? Like, what? Why are you calling me? I'm on an important mission. Oh yeah, Dad Norman. Dad Norman would imply that I have multiple dads. There's one called Michael, one called Christopher, and one Norman, you know. Oh, and there's a what? There's a Totodile, which I might wanna catch soon, but I know that starters are pretty hard to catch. I mean, you know, Cynical is pretty easy, but in general they're pretty hard to catch. So I'm gonna just conserve balls for now, or like balls, Pokeballs, and I'm gonna catch it later when I need a water type, because now we have 2 water types. And yeah, so I think that's soon gonna be over, because it's a pretty long episode anyway, and the commentary is pretty stale. So I'm gonna just get this rod and then just cut it from here. Yeah, I talked with the hip saying guy and changed it to me, because he asked what's hot now or something, and I said me because I'm funny. Anyway, you know, so there's a bunch of talking, and then there's those 2 battles with the fisherman, whatever. Yeah, what's hip, and I'm gonna cut here. So sorry again, OBS is a piece of shit, but I don't know what happened, and I hope it doesn't happen again. Whoops. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.